All good? Okay, declaration of opening is at 5:30 p.m. tonight's forum meeting. For anyone online, so the forum is a chance for the councillors to ask question and answers. We have the ordinary council meeting on the 16th, next Wednesday, where we make decisions. Tonight is a question and answer night. If any members of the public do attend, they have two parts of the meeting to participate. That is public question time and declaration time, where we're invited to make a statement of some sort. So item number 2 of opening procedures is 2.1, acknowledgement of country. So the Shire of Northern would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians on the land in which we meet, both the Ballagong and Wadjuk people of the Noongar Nation, and we pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. Item 2.2 is recording of council meetings. Members of council and councillors and members of the gallery, if anyone does attend, are advised that this meeting will be live streamed, is being live streamed and audio recorded and made available on the Shire of Northern's YouTube channel. If members of the public would like to access the recording of the meeting, they can do so via the Shire of Northern website. And we know that works because people have viewed it and it's quite straightforward to find. Item number 3 is attendance. We have in attendance Councillor Biglan, Councillor Gira, Councillor Ryan, Councillor Mancelli, President Antonio, Councillor Appleton, Councillor Bolton, Councillor Hughes, and we have all the staff as listed, so I don't need to go through those. Item 3.2 is apologies. We have an apology from Councillor Williams. Item 3.3 is approve the leave of absence, that is nil. 3.4 absent is nil. Item number 4 is disclosure of interest. I do have a couple. So item 13.1.1, property management lease licences. Councillor Biglan has declared impartiality. Councillor Biglan is current Secretary Treasurer of the Wundowri Progress Association, and members of other Progress Association and on to Councillor Biglan. President Antonio, that's me, has declared impartiality in the same item. President Antonio is a member of a number of the Progress Associations mentioned within the report. Item 13.3.1, review of trading on thoroughfares and public places. Councillor Hughes has declared financial. Councillor Hughes owns a copy trailer and operates in the Shire of Northern. So just so everyone's aware, Councillor Hughes will be asked to leave the room when any discussion about that item comes up. I haven't received any other declarations at this stage, but all councillors are aware that are able to put the declaration in before the item is discussed. We are on page 8, so that's item number 5, announcements by the presiding member without discussion. So that is taken as read. We go to page 11. Item number 6 is public questions. There are no public questions at this point in time. Item number 7 is response to previous public questions taken on notice. That is nil. Item number 8 is receiving of petitions, presentations and deputations. 8.1, petitions is nil. 8.2, presentations is nil. 8.3, deputations is nil. Item number 9, still on page 12 now, is applications for leave of absence. That is nil. Item number 10 is confirmation of minutes. 10.1, confirmation of minutes from the ordinary council meeting held 18 September 2024. I'll go through 2 of these. We've had the ordinary council meeting, see if there's any questions or clarifications on this, councillors. No? And then we've got the special council meeting held on Wednesday the 25th September. So any questions or clarifications on that, councillors? No? So we're still on page 12. Item 10.3 is notes from the council forum meeting held 7th of October, which is tonight. So I'll deal with questions on that next week after the notes are available. We go to page 13. Item number 11 is items brought forward for the convenience of those in the public gallery. There are no items being brought forward. Item number 12 is reports of committee meetings. 12.1 is Audit and Risk Management Committee meeting held 5th September 2024. There are both the minutes and the recommendations, so I'll invite questions or queries on either of those minutes or the recommendations. That is nothing, no questions there. So we go to page 14. So item 13 is officer reports. 13.1 is CEO's office. 13.1.1 is governance policies on page 14. Just a reminder that Councillor Biglan and President Antonio declared impartiality in this item, and Councillor Gierak did as well, is declaring impartiality. Councillor Gierak knows a number of the members of various progress associations, and the exact wording will be correct for next week's meeting, I suppose. Councillor Mentelli is declaring impartiality in the same item. Councillor Mentelli is Councillor Mentelli knows the number of the members of various associations. Councillor Hughes is declaring impartiality in the same item, knowing the number of the members of the progress associations. Councillor Appleton is declaring impartiality for the same reason. Members of the progress associations mentioned in the absent amongst Councillor Appleton. So that will be reported for next week. I think Councillor Poulton is declaring impartiality in the same item. So whilst we're doing that, 13.1.1 governance policies. This has been workshop. Is there any questions or queries on this, councillors? Councillor Ryan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just in regards to the risk management policy, how much extra work that's the impact to staff and also on the board? Is there going to be extra work that, which I'm not opposed to as such, I just was wondering with the policy what the impact's going to be.
So there's not believed to be any additional work or resource required in relation to the changes proposed. The changes are really highlighting the responsibility of risk management in the organisation. But yeah, we're not looking at any substantial resource.
Further questions on this item, councillors? 13.1.1. No, so then we go to page 71. So item 13.1.2, 2025 council meeting dates. Questions on this, councillors? If there's not questions, I'll ask a couple. I was just trying to clarify what the restrictions are for the financial reporting, so which appeared to be one of the reasons.
So one of the issues is often when we're preparing the agenda for the forum, the timing with the end of month is usually around the deadline of when the agenda reports are due. So by pushing the meetings back a week, it will allow an additional week essentially for the finance team to prepare the accounts and the financial statements.
Without memorising those, because sometimes the way the calendar falls, the financials are basically the third week anyway, especially if the first day of the month is a Thursday. Then you've got 2 weeks for that anyway, which is the reason for it. So not every month is affected by it. But just wanted to clarify: is it every month it's affected?
Not every month. This month, as an example, was affected. I think a general deadline was today, but the financials essentially weren't available until I think the day of actually publishing the forum agenda. So by giving that extra week, it just allows for additional checks and time to prepare the statements.
The proposed dates in April are over Easter. Would that cause a problem? One's the Wednesday before Easter and one's the Wednesday after Easter. Does that sort of date scheduling cause problems? There's a Wednesday before and a Wednesday after Easter 2025, those dates.
So with Easter, it would just mean that we need to get the minute. We'd only have 1 day essentially to get the minutes out. However, in terms of getting the minutes finalised, they generally are a fairly seamless process, so we're not concerned around that.
Would this proposal be affected for the budget planning meetings? Because I know that we're trying to plan the budget in June and straightforward as well. Does that get affected by these proposed meeting dates?
No, we would just schedule the meeting dates. Once we know the council meeting dates, it's then easier for us to schedule those budget workshops.
And same thing, is audit in December affected by these proposed dates? Bearing in mind we're trying to get audit out for the annual reporting cycle.
No, it wouldn't be, Councillor Antonio. We'll just move the audit date to what suits us, and we're a little bit driven on it, whether it would be within a week by the Office of Auditor General when they're prepared for it.
And if these proposed dates went ahead, which is it's either a meeting or a strategic meeting, can we change dates like the Darren Field Days, which has a clash?
So the Darren Field Days clashes with an ordinary meeting. So
Yeah. But if it wasn't the ordinary, under the old program, it would still be a strategic meeting.
yeah, I mean, council can set whichever dates it likes. If it's identified that there is a clash with a key event in the week, then that's certainly something that it can consider when setting the dates.
And this might be a question for the President and the CEO, is what happens with duties outside that I'm a representative on as President of Board State Council and the zone when there's clashes, especially with those strategic dates?
While we do put the strategic dates out there, the strategic dates are probably easier to move because they are more internally focused.
Thank you. So I think I've exhausted my questions. Other questions, councillors? No? Okay, so we go to page 76. So 13.1.3, Western Australian Local Government Association, WOLGA, Local Government Election Advocacy Positions. I've actually read that correctly. So questions on this, councillors? So no questions. So then we go to page 83. So 13.1.4, Northern Airfield Rules of Operation. Questions on this, councillors?
Yes, Mr. President.
Councillor Mancelli.
Just a query in relation to the letter from Mr. Reynolds. Have we?
Financial attachment as well.
Oh, sorry. Have we received an account for the propeller damage?
Can't answer that.
Can't answer that.
If a claim was received, we would treat it with under action areas.
Further questions on this item, councillors? No? 13.1.4. We go to page 96. 13.2 is engineering services, which is nil. 13.3 is development services. 13.3.1, review of H6.9, trading on thoroughfares and public places. Councillor Hughes has declared financial interest in this item. So Councillor Hughes, before I've even requested, is vacating the room. So questions on this item, councillors? Councillor Bigland?
Thank you. I noticed we put in a trial of 6 months. Did we either discuss the memory end of the financial year or a 12-month, not an actual 6-month period? Thank you.
I think we definitely discussed a trial period, I can't remember if it was a 6 or 12 month, but that's again, that's council, they would like to extend it for a 12-month period, that's, I just start recommending 6 to see how it goes.
Yeah, councillor Pignell, I know we discussed it, I can't remember an answer.
And maybe we make it to the end of the financial year, which is kind of an easier time to look at reviewing it, which I think makes it 7 months, give or take, if you're going to adopt it next week. Between January, February, March, April, May, June, 8 months. Sorry, 7 months. 30th of June.
So my question was, if councillor Bignell wanted to do that, what's the best process to do that, to make it as part of the original recommendation? Can we make it as part of the original recommendation?
We can do that, so we could effectively make it from the date after the council meeting until the 30th of June 2025. If you wanted it that specific, yeah.
Yeah, it just saves us doing an amendment to a motion. We did that from the start, so that's what I was thinking. Councillor Minchelli?
Yeah, I've got a question. Wouldn't you get a pretty good indication after a 6-month trial?
That'd be up to council to decide if we're looking at 7 months.
Well, I think it's a little bit longer than 7 months. Anyway, no discussion. Pardon?
Saying 30 June.
Yeah. We can debate that anyway. Yeah, no worries. Councillor Popham, you have a question?
Would there be room to include a trial period to open up the Main Street in Northern for a Sunday to stall the markets, where the tourism in Northern has been an issue and something like that, where it's helped improve and attract more people on weekends, and once the people are here, then it might promote the local businesses to start opening on weekends as well.
Might come under different policy.
So this relates to probably regular food traders in defined locations. So at the moment, you can only trade within 300 metres of existing businesses if there's special events. I am aware that there are some local businesses who are now opening on Sundays as well. So it might be good to see how they go before we look at introducing other retailers in that space at this point in time.
But having said that, the events team, not so much Sundays, but the events team, especially during peak periods, if they do it again this year, they had all the events at Wundowie, Bakers Hill, Northern, they did it for 5 weeks. So I'm sure if that was successful enough last year, they'd be doing the same this year. But the CEO can confirm or deny that if the CEO knows.
Yes, certainly we did trial the markets last year, and it's my understanding that we will continue to look at market opportunities as well.
I'm not exactly answering the question, it's a different, same sort of thing. Councillor Gierak?
So I understand that there was no consultation at this point of time with any of the local businesses or Chamber of Commerce or anyone.
We have had some conversations with the Chamber of Commerce, and they are supportive of, I think, trialling the trading zones, the defined trading zones, as long as they're not in too much of a close proximity to existing businesses. So we have had some conversations with the Chamber of Commerce, who I guess understand that the balance between the kind of the fixed businesses and the mobile businesses.
Thank you.
Further questions, councillors? Does this, if an event was held at Buckland, like a wedding, which a lot of weddings are held, is this captured under this policy, or is that, because that's a private event on private property, is that captured, or is that something else?
That's the catch up there. That's an approved event, then it's not captured by this policy, they can add an approved event.
So a private event on a private property is an approved event?
Correct.
I'm just trying to get it right in my head. Thank you. Yeah. Further questions, councillors? Well, before I go on, I better get Councillor Hughes back. Thanks, Jan. You're closest.
Thank you.
We'll now go to page 116. So 13.4, corporate services, 13.4.1, corporate services policy review. Any questions on this one, councillors? Okay, Councillor Ryan?
Just in regards to the section 10.7, which is the ICT, use of artificial intelligence. That's feedback. Turn it off.
Think loud and you can turn it.
All right. See how that goes. All right. So with the AI systems, what AI systems do we currently have, or are we operating at the Shire level? Like, do we have any AI systems?
At present, to my best knowledge, no, so we're not operating in.
Further questions? Yeah.
So with the Records Act, the State Records Act, what's the strategy around using AI and then complying with the Act in itself? Like, how would that work? I know it says that we got to comply, but I mean, have we pulled it apart much in terms of how that's going to be implemented? But what sort of context would that be?
I would have to take that one on notice. I would just, until we apply it, I'll take it on notice and give them.
Yeah, that was the thing that came to mind. It's like, okay, so we're using it for document generation, or yeah, that makes sense. But we just do it for general questions and things. What does that look like? How do we comply? Well, that question might not have even been asked of others, so I don't know. Thank you.
Further questions, Councillor Bolton?
The cameras and surveillance, what steps are in place to make sure that people's data and, you know, personal information isn't being kept and misused?
Sorry, which policy you're talking about, Councillor?
So what was that, sorry, Councillor Atherton? Yeah, I think the answer was Councillor Atherton thinks it was actually captured under the audit and risk minutes.
With the prison policy. Sorry, it was about the identification of personal information, but I think that's actually covered under the press policy, which is under the audit and risk committee.
Making sure any images captured by CCTV are privacy protected.
Yes.
Yeah. That's your question, Councillor Bolton. It's something the policy.
Yes.
Yep. Don't have to worry, Colin. Further questions, councillors? No, so 13.4.1. We go to page 141. So item 13.4.2, accounts and statements of accounts, September 2024. Any questions on this? I'm just looking at Councillor Bigland. If there is any questions, that will be included, and it is, just want to get this correct, it is part of the forum notes, which is available to the public. If any questions are received.
That's correct. So what we'll do, if there are any questions received before forum, we would include those in the forum notes. So the questions and the response would be included in the forum notes, which are then included in the council meeting next week.
So the only ones that wouldn't be available to the public if questions are asked at the ordinary council meeting, because that's on the night, so that's not included in the minutes. So this, I just wanted to make sure.
Also, if any questions were received after the ordinary agenda is published on Friday, they wouldn't need that.
Councillor Bennett.
On page 173, the one down the Yak Shack, it's only a minor repair. I'm going to get it for $123, I think it is. 123.79. Is it correct that the Wanderi men's shed utilising the Yak Shack? And if so, do they have a lease in relation to the Yak Shack? It's the third item down on page 173. Thank you.
That might be to do with leases.
Yeah.
I would ask the question, if any expense is incurred for the Yak Shack, is it covered, is it reimbursed by the leaseholder, whichever that is, which in this case, that's how I'm interpreting the question.
Or if they've got a lease, I think that's the question.
Yeah.
Question is, did they mention it?
That's not absolutely Maria.
There is a license agreement for the land, however, I'd like to check if it incorporates the building into that. So I might take that on notice if that's okay.
No problem. Thank you.
I just want to double check on questions. And just to clarify the answers we'll give it. So if the questions are sent in before the forum, that'll become part of the ordinary council minutes. That's available to the public. If they're received before the ordinary council meeting agenda is published, they'll still be included in the ordinary council meeting. So all the public have got access to it. So only if they're received after the ordinary council meeting agenda is published, they wouldn't be included. That's also to record to all members of the public are well aware. So this last check, no more questions on that item? No? Councillor Mitchell, page 183. Page 183, 13.4.3, financial report for the period ending 30 September 2024. Any questions on this, councillors? I'll raise the question because it's pretty. I'll try and raise the question, Colin. It appears as though a lot of people paid their rates in September before the due date of the 2nd of October. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. That's generally the case. We bring the majority of the rates within certainly the first week after the due date. We usually bring in about 70% rates.
Oh, thank you for answering the question better than I asked. Other questions, councillors? No. So we go to page 205. 13.5 is community services. Then we've got item 14, matters behind closed doors. Can I please have a mover and a second for this? Councillor Bolton and Councillor Ryan, as procedural, straight to the vote. All those in favour by show of hands. At 8-0, that's carried. that door and we can go back to the proper agenda, which we're on page 205. Then we go to still on page 205, item 15 is motions of which previous notice has been given is nil. Item 16 is urgent business approved by decision is nil. And item 17 on page 206, the declaration of closure is made at 6:36 p.m. Thank you all very much. Thank you, councillors, for good questions as usual. And thank you, staff, for good answers.